Well, hey, it's Lynn Brown. Welcome to episode number 126 of the Gritty Women Global Podcast. I'm a results coach, and I partner with gritty women and gritty girls who want to become the best version of themselves. Now, this has not always been the case. Y'all, I spent the first half of my life trapped in comparison, and then in my spare time, I was a world-class people pleaser. People ask me all the time, like, how did you get from where you were to where you are now? And first, let me say that I'm sure you've heard this. Growth happens daily, not in a day. It is a lifelong process. And I'm smack dab in the middle of it right now. But here's the 20-second version. 7 years ago, I just basically drew a line in the sand and I was like, no more. I decided to change the way that I looked at things. And when I did that, everything began to change. Now, notice I didn't say it was in an instant and my life is perfect, because that is far from the truth. But today I just had this on my heart. I've been leaning into the area of regret and how we handle it and what we learn from it. And I will tell you that how I used to view it is not the same as how I view it now. For years, I just regretted a lot of things. I regretted my choices. I regretted just some of the foundational decisions that I had made. I have tons of mistakes and failures in my past. And instead of learning from them at that time, prior to my growth journey, I just wanted to avoid them. And I just wanted to forget them. And I buried them down. I mean, I would mentally just beat myself up, and I would just spend so much time just ruminating and thinking back over the mistakes. You know, what if I had done this, or what if I hadn't have done this? You know, all that kind of stuff. I never really had the thought that everybody experiences regret. There is not a living, breathing soul that has not made a mistake. It's not going to make one today or tomorrow, the next day. We are not perfect human beings. We are imperfectly perfect, but we're not perfect. There's so many examples of regret that we could consider here. But let me just toss some out just to kind of get you thinking. So, for example, maybe financially, maybe your family or maybe you personally, through the years, when you were young, you remember spending more than you made. Maybe you financially were not in a stable place. Maybe physically. Maybe you or someone you really loved didn't take care of themselves physically. I can remember when I was young, my daddy smoked. And I remember I was in the first grade and he was going on a business trip, and we got his cigarettes and put them in a can, and my cousins had visited him. And we sent all the cigarettes before he packed. We sent all the cigarettes to my cousin's house. Maybe you've made a few bad choices that caused you pain. Or actually your choices maybe caused somebody else pain. Perhaps maybe you dropped out of school, or you didn't take the path your parents had intended for you. Maybe you didn't complete your college degree or a doctorate degree. Maybe you got a master's and you didn't get your doctorate. I don't know what your thing is. Maybe you didn't mend a relationship that you feel like you could have saved. Regardless of what the regret is, what you do with it from this day forward will determine the results that you will get. And basically, we all respond in one of two ways. And so what about you? Are you the one that says, for the most part, well, at least I didn't, at least I didn't gain this much weight, or whatever your thing is. I would say, well, at least I'm just 5 pounds overweight and not 50. Or at least I didn't eat the whole row of Oreo cookies. I just ate half. Or at least I walked around the block one time today, even though I didn't do 5 miles, whatever the thing is. So you can fill in that blank. So a lot of times we say that, at least I didn't, and we fill in the blank. And then there's another way to look at that too. And that would be, if only I had. If only I had. So in the case of at least I didn't, I cannot even tell you how many times I got caught speeding when I was in high school and college and beyond even. I got caught speeding so many times, and I never really had to pay the price. And then ironically one day, I got slapped with a $300 ticket. So I said, well, at least I only had to pay one time. But see, that my behavior didn't change. And so what we want to look at is the flip side of regret. And so not necessarily just saying, well, at least I didn't, but if the other thing we find ourselves saying sometimes is, if only I had. And honestly, y'all, even though it has more pain, this type of response, if only I had, it also delivers more action. And maybe you find yourself in both categories. And if you do, that's okay. Don't lose heart, because guess what? Today is a new day and we can all begin again. You can redeem yourself. You can rewrite your story anytime you're ready. And I love this, that, rewriting allows you to, not only to redeem yourselves, but it can be one of those just character defining moments. Maybe you want to improve your health. So one simple thing you could do is just get more steps in today. Maybe before you go to bed tonight, just get in a few more steps. Drink more water and less sweet tea or Pinot Grigio or whatever is your go-to beverage, whatever that thing is. Maybe you've not been able to kick the nicotine habit. We'll start cutting back today. Just wherever you are, start there. Maybe you're like the example financially and you've not saved money. You know what? Call your bank, go by your bank, begin a savings account. Oh, maybe you don't want to do that. You don't want to get in your car? Okay, get a peanut butter jar and start saving loose change around the house. It doesn't matter. Just do something. Just take action. Maybe you regret because you haven't traveled, or you've never even visited your favorite destination. Maybe you've lost touch with friends and you want to reconnect. Send somebody a card today or call them. Start with texting them if you have to, but there's something about hearing the voice of a friend that really does connect. Take action. When you take action, the heaviness of regret goes away. The truth is, we all have regrets. Now, if you're like me, the first half of my life, I spent a lot of time and energy trying to forget them. Here's a perfect example. In the 5th grade, I bullied my friend Betsy on her birthday. She was born on Groundhog's Day, so you can imagine the bullying and the songs and the poems and things that I made up about her. Yeah, that was a long time ago. I never forgot it. In 2016, I tracked her down and I called her and I apologized to her. She was so shocked. But see, I remember that because it went against who I was on the inside, one of my values, even in the 5th grade. It bothered me because I was being disloyal. It bothered me because it was going against who I really was deep down inside. I was doing it for attention that day, or to fit in, or to be cool, or whatever. But when I took the action to call her and to apologize and reach out, it felt so good. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but have you ever had somebody just pop in your head? Or somebody just stays on your mind and you think, oh, I need to call them. I need to slow down. Okay, well, when I get back, I will. Or when I finish this little project, I'll call them or text them or whatever. Y'all, I can't even tell you how many times that people have popped in my head like that and I put off calling them or connecting with them. And honestly, I'm not proud to say this, but there have been a few times that I was actually too late, meaning when I decided to reach out to the person had died. So that is not a pleasant feeling. And you've heard this a million times, I know, but when we get to the end of the life, nobody really cares what's in your bank account. Nobody really talks about, the trophies and the plaques and the awards that you won. What everybody talks about is relationships. That's what matters the most. And so the regret in this area of connections and relationships is widespread. But the great news about this category is reaching out and reconnecting is very easy now, probably easier now than it's ever been. So I want you to consider this. Here's some homework, action step for you today. I want you to think into the future. Now, I'm not asking you to think into 2032 or what you're going to even be doing in 5 years. But I want you to consider thinking into 7 days from now. 7 days from now, I want you to ask yourselves a couple of questions and fill in these blanks. And you're going to come up with your own headings, but in the areas, our base, our foundation, as Daniel Pink says, the foundation. In the area of health, I wish I had worked out more by doing this, and name that thing. Or I wish I had advanced my career more by doing this, and you fill in that blank. I wish I had increased my savings this week by whatever it is. In the area of becoming a bolder person, I wish I had asked more questions. I wish I had started this, or I wish I had tried this. In the area of connections, I wish I had been kinder. I wish I had stood up more for this person. I wish I had reached out more in this area or forgiven someone here. That's pretty abstract, and it's probably something that you weren't planning to hear today, but it's something that will raise your awareness. And it's homework, but it's homework that's going to help you become more aware of your results. And I found that this helps me move into action quicker, because the next week when I check in with myself, I want to have some results. I want to have some positive action steps, things that I have actually done. What we measure improves. We've always heard that, and it's so true. If we keep a record of how many times we work out and we track our calories and all that, we're going to have results. So I want you to ponder how you would complete these questions, and doing exercises like this really does raise your awareness, and it will actually improve your results. 2/3 of all the regrets are results of inaction, just meaning that we just think about getting ready. We're getting ready to get ready, and we don't ever take the action. That inaction can really weigh heavy on our heart. Because if you don't do anything, then you're left just wondering, well, what could have been? At least if you're like me and you don't care about making a fool of yourself, you take action regardless of the outcome. You learn something because you were willing to try. Right now, I'm in the middle of that right now. I've launched an event, and I will see at the end of 7 days if it's going to happen. Right now, I believe that it is. But the most important thing is, more times than not, we find out what it is that we're supposed to be doing by starting out doing the things that we were not sure about in the beginning, but we took the courage, we took the step, we moved out of inaction into action. So I want you to just have that courage to follow your heart. Do the things that are most important to you. Do the things that are the actions that are aligned with your values. Because when you line your values up with your action, you will be unstoppable. Gritty girl, you are created for so much more. You are created in the image of a perfect God. Now, we're not perfect. We know that. We're imperfectly perfect, but we were not created to be average. We were created for excellence. Every hero, every shero that you have ever admired, every story you've ever connected with, every movie you've ever watched, and at the end of it, you just wanted to jump in there and live a life like that. Every itty-bitty thing that you have ever accomplished has come to you as a result of you taking action. So, gritty sister, the time is now. It's go time. Now, on the flip side, you do have a choice. You do have a choice to be a passive victim of your life, or you can be that gritty, resilient, inspiring, tough-thinking you. You are the one and only you. And there are other women waiting on you. They're waiting to hear your story that only you can tell. You have a song that only you can sing. Become the gritty shero of your life. Hey, check out our new Gritty Girl website too at lynnebrown.net. That's www.lynnebrown.net. Check out our new product, Spoken. Might be a great affirmation you would like for yourself. It's customized for you. Until next week, y'all stay gritty. Remember, it's the new strong. See you next week.